Hello, and welcome back to another session of Video Glitch Errors 9, the playthrough. I skimmed through it a little bit, and this doesn't seem like it's going to be as bad as the previous part, but this should be, knock on wood, should be, hopefully the last part in the playthrough that has these video graphical errors. But, regardless, let's have a good time, shall we, in this installment of the playthrough, part number 30, yeah. As I casually look at my other monitor and see what was the last part. I like how Freya's name didn't pop up all the way there. Sorry, I'm infested. Oh, got a nice little dance sequence here, which hopefully this doesn't get too corrupted here. It's a nice little scene. You know, I actually did think about hooking up the old classic PS1, like the actual system itself, at some point, and trying to play like all these in the original form at some point. Because, I mean, this is nice to have on modern consoles and whatnot. And PC and whatnot. But, I don't know if it's just me personally, or it's been just so long since I played that version. It just seems like sound, it just doesn't sound quite right. But again, that's probably me. And I'm genuinely curious to just, play them again on a PS1 console. Maybe a future stream down the line, who knows. But I know I won't be coming back to Final Fantasy IX after this playthrough for a little bit. Actually debating about what Final Fantasy to stream. Of course, still got so much stuff that I need to actually complete. Do I actually have that list somewhere? Uh-oh. The strings have snapped. A terrible omen, this is. Funny enough, the FMV looks like it came out alright during the recording. High up in the sky. That's something else. I thought I had a list of, I'll probably do somewhere on the desktop here. I don't know. There's a magic stone, as shown there. Well. Oh, hey, look, it's Steiner. Those wretched jesters. I can't believe I got dragged into this. Poor Marcus. No one asked you to meddle in our affairs. She would never betray me. Wishful thinking. Well, even listen to me. Why did she attack the kingdom? Brumesia, I think is how you pronounce it, if I'm not mistaken. I've never been good with pronunciation things without hearing it. And even then, there's the whole Titus and Titus situation. Because Final Fantasy X said it one way and Kingdom Hearts said it another way. I don't know. It's probably just a whole dialect thing. She summons you. Come with us. What? Oh, little royalty coming through there. Get off me, you scumbag. I do not understand. Understand what she said? I do not either. We are the Jesters. Mother. Darling, there you are. Where were you? I've been worried sick. Here, come closer. I'll tell you anything you wish. Is it true that you're responsible for the destruction? Oh, well, no wonder you look so concerned. This is far from the truth, Gurnet. I don't know about that. I always make this choice. Hey, Kuja, how you doing? An act from the Feasible Play. And a Beautiful Princess is the tale of a tragic love. Overcome by grief, the princess must sleep for 100 years. Kucho's definitely an interesting villain in the Final Fantasy series. I feel like he definitely stands out a lot more compared to some of the older ones. But then again, you know, there's only so much he could work with, I guess, back at the time. But then again, people seem to like Garland a whole lot, and he's just, you know, he doesn't have much involved until up to Dissidia. But even before Dissidia, I know a lot of people like him. Heck, the Final Fantasy director, the guy who created the series, has stated that Garland is his favorite villain. I don't know, I guess it's kind of one of those situations where you're so attached to your first creation kind of thing, maybe? But he also did state that Final Fantasy IX is his favorite Final Fantasy game. And been doing these recordings, Final Fantasy IX. Final Fantasy IX is a great game in the series. It really is. Like, I will always love the PS1 era Final Fantasy games, including the re-releases. Because that's where most of my Final Fantasy experience first happened. Not counting Mystic Quest. Mystic Quest was my first Final Fantasy game on the SNES. But I have fond memories of 7, 8, 9. That's how I experienced 4 for the first time. That's how I experienced Chrono Trigger for the first time. And yeah, you know, some people have made the arguments that those ports are not the greatest ports in the world to be playing, and that's fair. That is fair. But it is very nostalgic for me. And speaking of that, fun fact, I actually learned something about Final Fantasy IX. So Final Fantasy IX, the original PS1 version, is technically still being produced for PlayStation 1, funny enough. Square just has so many copies. At first, I thought it was like they just made so many copies of Final Fantasy IX that they're still selling them in the store to this day. But apparently, they are still allowed to release PS1 games as long as the game was created before the, I guess the lifecycle PS1. But you are still allowed to sell or produced, I should say, produced produced PS1 games as long as it was released before the end of the PlayStation, which is really interesting. Like, I'm gonna go into the Square's website right now, actually. So I think this is the only time we actually... Oh, no, that's not true. It's possible to play as... move around as Freya, if I'm not... Freya. If I'm not mistaken. Speaking of, I am expecting a package from Square Enix at some point. I would probably do a video on that as soon as I get it in, too. Can you not, search on here? Let's see. Yeah, you can actually still buy... It's the greatest hits version, but you can still buy Final Fantasy IX on Square Enix's store right now for $15. Which, honestly, is not a bad deal at all. Like, if you ever want to play the original on that actual PS1 console hardware and whatnot, it's actually not a bad deal at all. I'm seeing some silly stuff on the store right now. Hey, I would love to get a Final Fantasy Jumbo plush Kaltar for $100. Well, it does say Jumbo, so it's probably big. It says it's 1-1. Yeah, it looks like about the size of a, like a patio, like, yeah, patio chair kind of thing. Okay. Hey, I actually had the Chocobo. I think. Yeah, I actually do have the Black Mage Bow Chocobo. I'm seeing some, soundtrack CDs on here that I might have to look into later on. But I'm getting distracted here. Now, I think this might be the only PS1 game you can play on here. No, I see Final Fantasy, which one was it? Oh, I see both Chronicles and Origin. Origin I actually did not have growing up. I still don't have that copy of that. But I do have the PSP versions of 1 and 2, so I'm pretty much good with that. Which might still be the definitive way to actually play 1 and 2 is the PSP versions. I know there was ISO versions, which is like PSP versions of they built it off the PSP versions for ISO devices. I can actually do research and whatnot while watching these videos. Might not make the most gripping of commentary, but hey. Oh, it actually lists all the versions of Final Fantasy 9 on or Final Fantasy 9, Final Fantasy 1 on its Wikipedia page. That's pretty cool. I've never played the WonderSwan versions of the games, but I know they were later on used for the PlayStation 1 versions. Okay, it looks like the most up-to-date version of Final Fantasy 1 is the Nintendo eShop version, which is based off the PSP version with updated 3D stereoscope graphics. So we're just doing some equipment arrangement, and that's my phone telling me my my bill payment. Let's see if I need to put some money into the electric bill. Nah, I still got a couple more days. Okay, so it looks like that it's the 3D. Okay, so that's why it's got the 3D thing. It's for Nintendo 3DS. Oh no. So it still seems like the PSP version is the way to go, cause the Asho version is pretty much the same thing as that. So we are being invaded. We gotta take care of that. Final Fantasy 1-2 is a compilation of Final Fantasy that was launched for the Famicom. This version was only released in Japan and had very few graphical updates. Oh. Interesting. It's neat. I know personally whenever I get to Final Fantasy 1, it is definitely going to be the PSP version. I got to try to figure out a way to actually stream that from my device. I do have a PlayStation TV. I could just get the digital version, I guess, but if there's a way I could just... I mean, I need a new an actual PSP anyway, to be fair, because, yeah. Unless... Give me a moment. I've actually never looked into this. I actually never owned a Vita, funny enough. Maybe someday I would like to get one. Oh, okay, right. Yeah, Vitas were like little cartridges. Right, I'm a dummy. Because I actually own some Vita games from a place in TV. I'm a dummy. Not many, but I do own a couple. I had Persona 4 Golden, but... That's got a Steam release now. I got... Disgaea 3, you want to say? Yeah, I think it was Disgaea 3 for Vita, which that version... I don't think has a PC version out yet. An enhanced remake of Disgaea 3, Disgaea 3 Returns, was released for PlayStation Vita as a launch title in Japan. It was released in North America and Europe. Yeah, so... I'm thinking I have 3. It might be 4. They were both released on, Vita, but 4... actually got an enhanced version for PlayStation 4, and I would like to get that version. But yeah, going back to some Final Fantasy related topics. There's these 2 versions of Final Fantasy, the original Final Fantasy 1 I would like to play at some point, or do a stream of, and that would be the original NES one, and then the most up-to-date version of Final Fantasy 1, which would be the PSP version. Oh god, yeah, the PSP Go exists. Hey, punk. Yep, the Alexander is invading, so we gotta get that taken care of. Try him. I'm doing some studying on the end here. I love dance these black mages level 2. I think that was their name. Type B. Okay, they're just called Type B. The Type B black mages doing their little dance. It's pretty hilarious. I can't believe October's already coming to a close, truth be told. It's I mean, we still got 10 more days at the time of me commentating over this video. And despite everything that this year's going on, it has been going by quick. And, for good or for bad, there's still so much to go on with this year. But, that's 2020 in a nutshell. Alright. I want you to deliver this letter. I will try to deliver this letter, sir. You know, actually, after this, I actually do need to sit down and do some more recordings of it, which hopefully, once again, I mentioned before that, that the video graphical issues will hopefully be not around. But, at the moment, what I'm doing is I'm going through my backlog here, and I'm just going to do everything that I have on standby. So this would be, you know, this video right here, once it goes up on YouTube, is the last, Final Fantasy IX part, until I record some more. There's another Lisa the Painful part that can be done, and I think that might be it. Yeah, because Unlimited Saga, I need to do some more recordings for that. If I would have laid it on Unlimited Saga, like, Unlimited Saga would probably be a better streaming game than what I'm doing now. Well, maybe not. That's up for debate. But, I am committed that I'm gonna, Unlimited Saga will be continued to be the regular playthrough formats. And funny enough, I actually do have some other things that I have been working on, like, I think I might have mentioned this before. Just some games of where I'm just... Whenever I'm in the mood or have a little bit of time, I'll just record for the future. Like, I'm looking, and I've actually started doing some recordings of Disgaea PC. Which I... fairly certain I stated it before. That, Disgaea PC will be probably the last NIS game that it's going to be the playthrough method. And then from there on out, it'll be like streaming setup, unless, you know, something drastic happens. But, and I actually need to get back to Angel's Present, playing that. Because Angel's Present is still going to be the playthrough format. Heck, I even got some Late Crusader Ragnarok parts recorded. Which, when was the last time that video was recorded? I'm kind of curious. Saturday, November 10th, 2018. That was the last time I did a recording for that game. But, I mean, that's not going to start for a while. So much to saying, so much to do, and Lisa the Joyful I haven't even played yet. It's still sitting on my Steam library. Which I'm still buying so many cheap games on Steam that I need to go through. But I got so much stuff I still need to go through and complete. Why do I do this to myself? But from here on out, though, I am going to be sticking to one game and continuing to do that until the next game. After I do all these. With maybe the exception of, like, looking at some stuff here and there, of course. Challenge runs will be its own thing as well. I'll just be like, hey, you know, I'm gonna do this every so often or so. Which technically the 70 a night, what I've been doing for October is a challenge run. But I've gotten to the point where I'm comfortable now in the luck run for challenge of the run. But in 70 night, I mean, I'm at a good spot now where I can probably breeze that, or not breeze it, but do a decent job with it. And I do want to finish that up before the end of October. So I look forward to more sessions of that. Haven't really touched the RPG Maker, my top 100 RPG list in a bit, but I haven't really played much off screen. Like, at least to the point was like the only thing I played off screen and completed. I want to stream that in somewhat form or fashion, but maybe someday Monster Update will come out, and that'll be a perfect time to do that. What else? I have been thinking about working on a video project that I thought about, I don't know, a year ago by this point now. It involves Final Fight, and I think it'll be an interesting project. It requires some research. But the way Final Fight is, I don't think it requires too much research. But I mean, it's gonna be interesting. It's an interesting project that I do want to work on. Funny enough, I was thinking about putting a lot of work starting into it until the final season of Street Fighter V was announced. Funny enough, and I wanted to wait. I wanted to wait what characters was going to be revealed, and we still don't know what the final character of that season is going to be for Street Fighter V, but I feel confident it's not going to be a Final Fight character at this point. Basically, what it is, it's just like, it's not exactly Death Battle tier of what it is. It's, literally me sitting down, doing the research, and saying, okay. Because, funny enough, if you're just taking just the playable protagonists of the Final Fight games, it actually adds up to 8. Mike, Guy, Cody, Maki, Carlos, Lucia, I think that's how you say her name, Dean, and then Kyle. And that's 8 characters right there. And it would get me to replay all the Final Fight games, which is pretty cool. Which, honestly, it's probably about due time to do Final Fight 3 for the channel. But that will be a stream, though. That won't be a normal playthrough like the Final Fight 1 and 2 and Mighty Final Fight was. Oh, Mighty Final Fight was pretty fun. Oh yeah, so I pulled up here. So I know I've been neglecting it, but basically you have you can choose decisions about where to lead the villagers to, and depending on how much you how many of them you save by the end of it, you get some rewards. It's probably one of the things. I'm looking at a playlist here of the Xbox Live Indie Games demo reel videos that I've done when they announced that service was going to be ending. It's a shame I wasn't able to go through every single one, but at that point I wasn't streaming. I think that would have been a good time of streaming as well, but hey, it is what it is. I don't like it, kids. We're not safe yet, so stay alert for more. Oof, these video graphic glitches. That's why I want to protect you. Come on, let's head to the cathedral. I think that was everybody that you could save here. Sorry, I'm just double checking. But the day is saved thanks to this guy though. Now run, and we shall run to the end of this video.